Let's give him a big, big hand. Please welcome our very own concert king, Mr. Martin Nievera. Hello, Sir Martin. Please say hello to everybody.
Hi everybody! You all remember me. You don't even have to be doing this, but I'm glad to see all of you face to face-ish.
And by the way, Sir Martin, we are also live on Facebook, so please
On
hello to
Facebook.
say hello to your fans
Hello
on Facebook.
Facebookers. We missed your birthday, sorry. I was invited though, right? Alright. Making sure.
Thank you very
Thank you so much
Sir
for...
Martin.
Sorry you had to Google all of that, you're so young.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying I'm so young, Sir
40
Martin.
years.
Thank you very much.
So they're gonna ask questions? How does this work? Are you gonna ask the questions?
They will be asking
They will,
some
okay.
questions for
Alright,
you.
Here we go.
And you may relax
here.
and take a
Mario.
seat first.
Me? Oh, this is mine? Okay,
Yes, this
alright.
is your seat, Sir Martin.
Sorry.
Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready to answer?
I'm ready!
A lot of questions.
They know
Yes.
all the answers already, but yes, I'm ready.
All right, I know you guys are ready, and also again to all our viewers on Facebook, I know you guys are also excited, so please stay tuned and share our live stream. All right, so for questions, maybe call in. I will say batches. I know you guys know this routine. So for first batch, we have Joe Barameda, Jojo Gabinete, Alan Jones, and Miss Ana Pingo. Our first question will be coming from Joe Barameda of Abante.
It's Mommy's fault you're always here. She's gonna ask the
Okay,
follow-up question.
Moving on,
Joe
we
naman.
have Jojo Gabinete of Pep.ph.
Oh, Mario's standing up already. Well, I can hardly see you guys, huh?
Seniority first, ayaw nila.
Is it too much light, guys?
Hey Mark, I'd like to welcome you first. Welcome back home.
Thank you so much, Mario.
So how was the experience in Vegas?
It was great. You know, I think I speak for all of the Kapamilya artists, those who were present anyway. We were all so energized by having a live audience again. It's been a while. It's been about more than 3 years or something since we've done an out of the country type show. And now with the pandemic, you know, being what it is today, we were able to do this show, and it was well attended. I think we were almost close to sold out.
Grabe, no? Absolutely no.
And some people came from Alaska, some people came from Hawaii, some people came from all around America just to be there for that.
Yeah, it's a measure of how they missed you, siguro.
I think so, and I think they also they were to get the opportunity to see all those artists on one stage is probably the driving force behind why yung lahat ng mga nurses been off that time or that sick leave or whatever they call it. But also for them to see how ASAP is made and done. There were a couple of times in the show where, well, I have to use myself as an example, where I made a mistake. So I said, let's do that again. Let's do a rewind. And everybody loved it. They thought it was part of the show. But we keep forgetting that they're also a witness to a TV show being shot, not just a live concert.
Maganda yung experience niyo, actually.
I think so.
For
I
an
think
audience.
if I was an audience, if I was in their shoes, I would want to know how that works. How do you do a TV show? How do you do a concert? You know, how do you host? And what do you do behind the scenes? So it was really a great experience, and every artist brought their A game. Everybody was talagang 110% there with all their jet lag. Some people arrived the day before because of schedule.
Okay. Wala ka na jet lag, eh?
I have jet lag. I had a big case of jet lag. But,
Swing it.
Huh?
Swing it.
Swing it, exactly.
Di mo, ano yung nagdala-discover mo sa ating mga kababayan sa Amerika? You know, that overwhelming response na makita uli kayo in person on stage.
I discovered many things. Probably the most important lesson I discovered is how hungry they are for Filipino artists. Hindi lang yung ASAP, ah. There were so many shows before us, even at the same day, that did equally well because of that factor. Uhaw na uhaw ang Filipinos all over America trying to get back to the concert or the entertainment scene from some of their favorite artists. So can you believe us bringing ABS-CBN bringing the whole cast of ASAP all on one stage? I learned that they're so hungry, so thirsty for it. I've also learned that everybody in the audience, when you bring up the pandemic, especially Mario, you can see there's a common sigh of relief. Some people just the sigh of that last sigh after a long cry because they may have lost someone. the frustrations of the government rules of do we have to swab, do we not have to swab. Even the artists in ASAP, there were so many rules about us having to swab every other day, and then we decided that even if we found that someone was positive during the actual shoot, well, there's nothing we can do. I think that's the new lifestyle now, where if you have it, you need to be away from people, things like that. I just learned that there was so much that we all had in common, not just the artist to artist, but artist to audience.
Let's talk about loyalty, with your indulgence. Last na lang to. I think one of the factors sa staying power mo is your loyalty. No? You've stayed with Vicor, with ABS-CBN. Tell us why.
Loyalty is a word that's very hard to use nowadays. People take it too lightly. I think for ABS-CBN, I'm going to answer that part of the question. ABS-CBN, for the very first time in history, they signed a contract with an artist on the Strip of Las Vegas. And
bongga.
Diba? Bongga yun. So we chose a room that was overlooking the Strip, and Cory and Carlo were there to formally invite me back as a kapamilya. So I signed another contract with ABS-CBN, and I was very emotional, and so were they, because I asked them, do we still need a contract? After all we've been through together and what we are still continuing to go through together, I don't need a piece of paper to stay loyal anymore. I don't think, hindi na uso yan eh. There was a time we needed to know, make sure everything's in writing, blah, blah, blah. So I was so honored and touched that they wanted it official, and I think they were equally touched that I could give a damn about a piece of paper. You don't need to write my name on a piece of paper for me to know that I fought for you, I stayed with you, cut in pay, all of these things that we all did just to try to survive, and now we did a big show in Las Vegas, Nevada. So that's my loyalty, has been there ever since the beginning. I was the very first artist, I think even before you, Mario, of ABS-CBN.
Yes.
We were like one of the first artists there. So when the new ABS-CBN opened, I was there. So it's very hard for me to see myself anywhere else. I have been tempted to go to the other side, to many other sides, but I feel, and I tell this to the people who work with me, I could be wealthier, I could be even more intriguing because I've made such a move, but will I be happy? And the answer always is no. Not because the other stations that offered me are not good stations, but because it's love and loyalty really that keeps me where I am today. With Vicor naman, on their 50th year of being Vicor.
Kailangan mo pa ba ng piece of paper sa Viva and Vicor?
May paper din, but hindi naman kailangan. But in this case, kailangan because I had come from different to this day, I don't even know what happened, why I ever went to another recording company. I don't know what happened because there was never ever any bad blood between me and Vicor. Maybe I don't know. I don't even know what happened. The contract ended, and I thought you're supposed to move on, you know? And I had great success with Poly East Records, and I love them, and I adore them, and they worked so hard for me. They picked me up from the ground when I had that big, very publicized divorce thing, and nobody was calling my phone, and then it was Ramon Choeng who gave me that chance. But Boss Vic and I had never lost our love and relationship for each other, so when he saw that they were turning 50, he said, we need to get Martin back. Can you please find out kung may kontrata pa siya sa Police Records? And it just so happened, wala. Kasi sabi na maraming mas marunong pa sa akin, hindi naman kailangan mag-recording contract, pare. Just record your own shit, man. Do your thing. Produce it and you make the money. They're forgetting, just like how some people have forgot the press and things like this. They think that the online stuff, sorry children, but they think that online stuff is the way to go. The Facebook Live, that's great. But this face-to-face, to being able to see you, Mario, and how you've treated me, and how you've made, and I speak to the whole press.
How we treated you.
How you've treated me as one of your subject matters. Your interest in whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm singing or saying. You've made me, you've broken me, you brought me back to life. These are the people you need to see face to face and say thank you for all that you've done. In all of my 40 years, I have been made and I have been broken, and then I have been made again. So I will always be a work in progress, And you will always be the people who will put me back together again. And you can't do that online. You can't do that from a barcode or whatever, QR code. We need this face to, even if you don't like me really, I want to know why. I don't want to hide behind my computer or my iPad or whatever. I want to know why. You know that. The press know that about me.
My correction, Mark, I didn't break you. Not ever.
Maybe not you, but the likes of there's a couple of names I could mention who are no longer with us. Ricky Lowe, di ba? Si Ricky recently, right? I mean, we feel this. We even as artists, we know that we're nothing without any of you.
Okay. And now at this point, Viva Live is sponsoring your M40. No? How time made full circle.
Full circle. Tama ka dyan, Mario, because Viva Live is producing this show at Solaire, which Solaire they asked me for, Mark, we want you in Araneta, we want you Mall of Asia. I said, no, I want to do this in an intimate fashion, where I'm not screaming on stage, I wanted to be able to tell my story behind every song, which I don't usually do. But now that I've been in the business 40 years, Viva Live has decided to partner with, of course, using Solaire. My home court advantage is Solaire because that's my favorite place to perform. So they have allowed me to do this on November 19 at the theater at Solaire to give you 40 years of my music. So, and it's so great because the person who gave me the very, very first break is Vic Del Rosario. So this is very meaningful for me. In fact, I was going to save it for the show, but I wanted to dedicate the whole concert to Vic Del Rosario. Because without him, I don't think I would be celebrating 40 years. You know, so most people would probably say, we don't need you anymore. Because ang dami mga artists na sa Viva, you don't need one more when they ask for me. So the least I can do is that, dedicate the whole evening to the person who actually discovered me, and that's Vic Del Rosario.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you, Mario. I love you, man.
Kylie, salamat. I think here's one person who broke Martin.
Grabe. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Alan.
Since this is a celebration of your 40 unparalleled years in the business, we wanna know muna, first tell us a little something about your upcoming concert. Ano yung magaganap dito? Ano yung mga repertoire mo? Anong na-expect namin from this?
At kung kami nahirapan because sa dami-dami songs na ginawa ko in the last 40 years, with Vicor and with every company that I work with, it's hard to choose the right one. And I'm sure marami madi-disappoint. Why didn't he sing this? Why didn't he sing that? So my list of songs for November 19 are songs I know or I'm pretty sure are the ones you really, really want to hear, as opposed to coming up with something, because I have my favorites of my songs, but it's not the favorites of those of everybody. It's not a common favorite for everybody. So I chose the songs yung talagang, feeling ko lang I could be wrong. These are the songs in my last 40 years that people are, it's like number 1, number 2, or number 10 on their list of Martin songs. Another thing, Alan, that I'm doing is I'm having to relearn my old songs because I don't sing those songs anymore. But the good news is, Alan, in this point in my life and this is my career as I celebrate 40 years, I've learned to embrace me. I've always tried to be someone else or sound like someone else or sing someone else's song kasi sikat siya. Baka yun ang hinahanap ng audience. But I think after 40 years, I've now been given the license to just sing me, just do me. And I think that's what people who sit in the seats in front of me, that's what they want to see. So I made a lineup for the first time in my life. I made a lineup of, I think, 98% Martin songs. It's risky, because baka mamaya maantok yung mga tao. Siyempre, volunteer ako, di ba? So we have to find ways to keep you awake, and maybe the stories that we tell in between. Remember, I did this already at the Walt Disney Concert Hall last August 28. And it was
congrats.
And can you imagine, the people in the audience are not even from, I mean, they're all Filipino, but Filipinos have migrated. And they reacted so well. I could hear their every comment and the reaction to the songs that I've not done in a long, long time, that I'm doing. So that's what you're going to hear. And you're going to see me go down memory lane. Also, I wasn't going to announce it, but I think I should announce it. On all my 40 years, who has my musical director been? ever since. It's always
Louis O.
Louis Ocampo. So I decided, you know what? Louis has come to a point in his career. I think he's turning 45 years. See Louis, 45, 42. Like 45 years in the business. So sabi ko, Louis, it's time to be my special guest. Not my musical director, not pour the whole pressure of the show on him. So we got the number one fan of Louis, and that's Marvin Perrido. And we will guest Louis in the show and preempt his own, because I know he has a concert for his 45 years in the business. Preempt it by honoring him on that day for all the great shows he's given me in my 40 years. He will be my special guest. There'll be a couple of other surprises, but that's the one thing I can tell you about, and that's Louis Ocampo as my special guest. Not my MD anymore. Dami siyang sa tawag ng tanghalan, he's already horado, di ba? Hindi na pwede yung MD lang kung hindi very special guest.
Wow. Pero Mark, you don't have any other guests? Talagang si Mr. Louis lang?
Yes, because I know there's a lot probably in all your minds, you're probably thinking he should guest this person, that person, and all of this. But I think people want to hear my songs. I don't really like the events. You know, on my birthday, I'm the guy who won't show up to the party. I don't like going to parties in my honor for me. I never enjoy it. Well, this will be the first time, enjoy it or not, where I'm going to be the star of my own show. Because I want to be able to, you guys, I have the license because I've been there for 40 years, and that's what we're celebrating. I have the license now to go back to memory lane and bring you to back in the 80s, 82, 85, the 90s. Maybe tell a couple of stories, like there's a song, I don't even know if you know it. It's the answer to Ikaw, the most remade song. Sharon, Regine, everyone's done a version of George Canseco and Louis Ocampo's Ikaw. Did you know that right before he passed, he wrote a song called Nasaan Ka Man? That's the answer to Ikaw.
Who wrote it?
George Canseco.
Oh, wow.
And then after I recorded it, shortly after he died. And his only wish was to be together with his wife again, right? That's what Ikaw was for. He had an extended version of that. It's called Nasaan Ka Man. Louis and I will probably do a little bit of that. But no one knows that story.
You haven't sang that ba?
No, I think, my God, in my 40 years, maybe once. And it's such a beautiful song.
Nice. Okay, because we know you, Martin, kasi I've seen almost all of your concerts. Pag nag-enjoy ka na, sobrang tinatagalan mo, umaabot minsan ng more than, di ba, past 12 midnight. Hindi ka talaga tumitigil, lalo na pag sobrang saya nung audience. Parang, eto ba aabot sa bilang 40 years, 40 songs din nakakantahin mo or more?
Probably a little bit more, and some of the songs we had to make in medley form, because you will probably commit suicide watching the show that long. Puro mga songs na yung malungkot, yung ganun. So, it's still gonna, Alan, I'm telling you, we're still gonna be missing a lot of songs. But I think attention span of people now, especially kids nowadays, your attention span now is very short. You're gonna go to your phone any second. I can see it, the text. You're dying to do it right now. I can feel it. So that's how I do my lineup now on my shows. Sometimes we'll take out the second verse. Kasi that's the new age now. You have to be quick, fast. Don't tell us long, boring stories. There better be a funny ending, because I listened to this whole spiel before that long ass medley. So, and then we want to add a little spice to the songs that I've done so often. But I'm just happy to be doing it again after, to celebrate 40 years.
Yung concerts are never boring. Yung energy mo, grabe. Talagang buhay na naman lagi yung audience. Ito talaga yung questions ko, Mark. Bilang 4 decades nga ito, di ba? Meron akong 4 talagang questions
Okay.
na bilang 40 years, listicle siya. So 4 of your, first, 4 most memorable events in your 40 years na hindi mo makakalimutan.
4?
Yeah.
The first one has to be August 20, Folk Arts Theater, 1983. That's my very first concert ever. It was never televised because it was so bad. Not one right note. I was so out of tune. Back then we had small sound systems. Back then, believe it or not, the screaming was endless. So that's my excuse as to why I couldn't hear myself on stage. when we saw the TV playback, which was also the first time for us anyway to shoot a concert with, I think, 2 or 3 cameras. We didn't have any of the special effects you have now these days. It was so bad. I wasn't in tune once. So it's never been seen. So that's one. The second one would probably be the first time I did a football stadium show, which nobody was doing at the time, and that's March 17, 1984, Martin's Rage. The third would be when I became a father for the very first time.
Sorry, saan yung venue ng Mark?
Martin's Rage, University of Life Football Field. 45,000 people.
Wow.
And the tickets were 10 pesos. Do you even know what 10 pesos is? Have you ever seen it?
Seryoso yung 10 pesos?
10 peso, yung sa likod
Okay.
10 pesos. The paper bill daw. Ouch! So that would be one, and then the third of your 4 questions would probably be when I became a father. Then my singing changed, my writing style changed. I thought everything was forever. I thought there was no end to anything about being a father, being a husband. The fourth was when I was no longer a husband, because then I started writing songs of regret, songs of I'm sorry, songs of look what I've done. I mean, I was suicidal at one time. In showbiz, you go through these stages. Those 4 would probably be the highlights because they helped me to become who I am today.
Yes. O second, mabilis naman, 4 of your closest and most, bestest friends in the industry.
In the industry, number 1, Pops. Number 2, Gary V. Number 3, Regine. Regine and Augie has to be together because medyo they're in the same house. Ariel Rivera.
Okay, third is yung 4 of your most favorite song of yours.
Ooh, 4 long?
Yeah.
Say That You Love Me, in no particular order. Say That You Love Me, You Are My Song, I'll Be There For You. Probably as far as Tagalog, kahit isang saglit.
Yes. And last time, 4 of the worst intrigues ever na na-experience mo.
That you wrote? Or
Hindi, Ricky Lo. Char!
you know, all the intrigues.
Ever.
I don't have 4 favorite or great intrigues because they were all true. Yan ang problema ng artista ngayon. I mean, they're so used to telling the truth. Back then, we were so used to lying. Lying was good before. It made us mysterious. We could hide. Oh no, we're just friends. Bullshit. We're just friends. But now you can see it online now. There's no more lying. So, what's my point? Of the 4 intrigues written about me, all 4 were true. Yes, I was unfaithful. Yes, I was not a good father or husband or whatever it was. All of those things were true, except maybe one. When they first tried to ask, who is going to be an unwed father? It was either Raymond Lauchenko, Martin Nievera, or Gary Valenciano. That one was wrong. I was part of that. So, but all the intrigues, Alan, we needed. We don't have intrigues anymore because you know the answer. That's why we have no shows. We have no more The Buzz and all
Yes.
this. You know it. Before tomorrow, you know what the intrigue is going to be. And then the next day, it's solved already.
Were you the unwed father?
Was I the unwed father? No.
No, you were not.
See? Can you believe? It wasn't even me.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank
Congrats.
you.
We
And that
love
was
you.
Bob Castillo, just so you know. I love you too. Thank you.
I just want to know kung ano yung mga highlights na kinukonsider mo ng 40 years of your
Ooh.
career.
Of my career, probably those 4 earlier, the concerts and so on. One of the highlights I think that I didn't mention is the highlight of bouncing back. That's a talent that I learned how to come back. I have fallen so often, I failed so many times that it's become one of the highlights of my career, my 40 years. How to bounce back, and that's a talent that some of these young kids probably will never have to learn because sa bilis ang turnover ng mga artists ngayon, di ba? Then one day it's this guy, this girl, this group, this love team. Back in the day, you were tanghaba yung mga love team namin. I even married mine, right? So when all the failures I've gone through in life taught me how to bounce back, that's got to be the number 1 highlight that brought me to your question.
Martin, yung 40 years is a very tough act to follow, no? Anong mga thoughts mo na umabot ng 40 years and going strong yung career mo?
It went by so fast. the fact that you're saying 40 years that we're here, that is even written on a poster, it's news to me because it didn't feel like 40 years, even during the bad and slow days when the phone wasn't ringing. With phones before, just so you know. When the phone wasn't ringing, this is hard because my host is so much younger than me. That was a time that really went slow. But as I recall it, as I remember it now, ang bilis. I can't believe it's been 40. Can't believe the number is 40. But the real hard question to answer is what's next. That's going to be the hardest. That's why I said earlier, I've learned to embrace me. Meaning to say, my niche, where I belong in the industry. Like Barry Manilow, if you heard him sing any other person's song, he might even be disappointed, diba? Or ang ganda yung version niya, or saan kinanta niya yung song niya. And what's my point? I need to sing my songs from this day to the next 40 years. That's my niche. Now, if I'm gonna do a corporate show and they have a certain theme, sige, mag-ayos ko yung lineup ko. But if it's a Martin concert, we can't do it now the way I used to, which is every year, twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year, because it's gonna be the same songs. So I'll have more collaborations. Me with another artist, me with many other artists. Big shows, small shows. Now that I've been 40 years in the business, there's no such thing as a small show. There's no such thing as a big show. There's no such thing as a small paycheck. There's no such thing as a big paycheck. Billing is no longer, that's optional. I could care less about billing now. Nothing matters to me anymore except to entertain and to enjoy what I'm doing. There's no pressure. There's no competition in my mind. I'm not trying to compete with someone the way I did in the 80s and 90s, which was really fun, just so you know. But that whole fan mentality of trying to get fans, if you want to stay with me for the next 40 years, then stay. If you don't want, that's fine too. I'm not going to cry over small things anymore the way I used to.
So how does it feel now after 40 years you're still on top?
The only thing I'm on top of is a stool right now because I don't think I'm on top of anything. I think now it's hard to measure what does on top mean. Does it mean sold out concerts? Everyone does it. Does it mean, how is it followers, hits? Followers. Does it mean that? Because I bet you she has more followers than me in some platforms. It's really weird. I'm the concert king, but she probably has more followers than me. That's how it works. The industry works now. So you really have to somehow put blinders on and not worry about those things and just do you. That's what I tell these new young artists. Just do you. Don't try and be me. Don't try and be anyone else. Just do you.
Martin, do you still remember kung sinong nagbigay sa'yo ng Concert King title?
Bob Castillo.
Bob Castillo.
And he meant it sarcastically. It wasn't a title, but the fans used it as the title. If you ask me about the Concert King title, I hate it because it's so much pressure. I wish they said something like the wannabe Concert King or the soon-to-be or the next in line or something, but the Concert King. What gets better than Concert King, diba? So you have to be good. So the way I've told myself is I don't have to be the Concert King. I have to have a show, and everything I do has to be fit for a king. So you're the king, and you're the king, and you're the king, and everybody there, and you're all the audience is the king. The show has to be the kind of show that is fit for a king. That's what makes me the Concert King.
Thanks, Martin.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you sa sinabi mo. But yun nga, Mark, in fairness to you, in your 40 years, isa ka sa pinaka-love ng entertainment press. Kasi love na love ng entertainment press.
Yes.
I still remember, pag may mga projects ka, talagang pwedeng walang press con, but gusto mo talaga. So, in your 40 years, gaano ka-importante talaga ang entertainment press for you?
You know, if the kids of today, the popular kids of today, could realize that fame is very temporary. So you have to enjoy all you can get. But back in the day when I started, talagang hinahanap ko yung mga People's Tonight, People's Journal. Nasa cover ba ako? Ganun, that's how it was before. Yung pala, intriga pala. It's all wrong or chismis. Whatever it is, you know that saying before, good or bad press is better than no press at all. Well, for me, I think the new artists are missing the point of our relationship together. Even if you are what you kids now call a basher. We were bashing before the word basher was ever used. That they would bash you, make you a better artist, make you stronger, make you ask questions like why, make you explain yourself to a jury of people as opposed to the lens of a camera, which is so much better. But the most important thing about the press for me, June, is the relationships that we have through the years. I know this now because I've been in the business 40 years. No artist can tell you if they have a relationship, good or bad, with the press, if they didn't spend 40 years with the same press people. I've grown up with people who have become my detractors, who have become my friends. Can you imagine Ricky Lowe was the one who said that I was going to get married? He was right. Ricky Lowe was the one who said that my co-star and Kalab team is pregnant with a child. He was right. And these people you'd think would become enemies, but they're my friends. And I think it's so important for the new artists to get to know the press a little bit better, to give them a little bit more importance. If there's a Christmas party, they need to attend. Because if it wasn't for any of you, each of you, even the press people who are not here, they're so important to the careers and to the betterment of the industry because you make us better. We will never get worse if you write bad or write good. We can only become better at what we're doing thanks to you. People don't see that. They probably don't even read their own press anymore. But it was so important back in the 80s and 90s, and I think that's why I'm here today because I was able to have this relationship with the press.
Yeah, ang ganda. Mark, ang dami mong kwento, no? Before, pag nata-traffic ka sa kalsada, nakikita mo yung mga tabloid, talagang tumitingin-tingin ka talaga. Oh. And yun nga, ikaw, isa kayong, I still remember sa anniversary concert mo, I think 10 years ago, your 30th, pinag-grill mo pa yung mga press ng burger.
Yeah.
Oo.
That was fun.
Oo, talagang nagpapakita ka ng importansya sa amin. So, we thank you for that. Hanga kami sa'yo. Pero, Mark, eto nga, M4D, siyempre nauna to sa DTLA in Disney, Walt Disney Concert Hall. Yan, ganong kaibaan neto? Kasi ako, I really stayed in LA, pinanood ko
I know, thank you.
August
That meant a
28.
lot.
Super grabe, ang ganda, nakakaiyak. Sana, si Santino ba nandito din? Mag-drums din ba siya?
That's the only thing that's gonna make this show not as bongacious as you say. Kasi wala yung kids ko. Robin, Ram, and Santino are all three gonna be stuck in America doing their thing. Robin and Ram starting their lives now on their own, and Santino with all his different challenges. They have to stay in the States. So I have to find a way to tell you about my kids through this show. And I think you might like what we're going to do in place of that. But no, to answer your question, Santino's not going to go up and steal the show. And he grabbed my microphone and started telling people to cheer and clap their hands. Then he played the drums for a 5-minute song, which is long for a special child to be that focused for that long. No? And then we started a new, because of Santino, we started a new foundation in America called SOFA. Hey, this is something you've never heard. SOFA, which is Sing Out for Autism. His mother and I, who are still very good friends, put this foundation together to try and raise money to help other people who don't really want to be vocal about their special children. A lot of people are ashamed of it. A lot of couples have broken up because of it, namely me and Santino's mother. But we've realized that this is going to be a lifelong journey. So we're trying to help other people who have similar journeys by doing this new foundation called SOFA.
Ito yung yung event mo na in-attend din sa Las Vegas.
It's so funny because the day that we started SOFA, Pops was there.
Yeah.
Pops, Robin, Ram, and Santino, and the mother, Katrina, all of us in one room. So that in itself is really weird, but see what we do for our children, how life how we have evolved through all of this, that we all know that we have to be there for our children. Thank God Robin and Ram are not, don't have any special issues, are not on the spectrum, as they say, the way Santino is. But you know what was the hardest thing to do? is to be able to say words like autism and special, or things that you don't say those words to an actual child who has autism. Yet we were talking this way in front of Santino in the audience. So I realized we're saying words like autism and special needs on the spectrum, and he's right there. So that was the first time we actually told our child through this event that you are special. You have autism. You're an autistic child, which we try to not to tell our kids. We only realized it while we were on stage telling the audience about this new foundation we're starting. So people were like in awe that from there he raised his hand in the audience. The special child raised his hand. I said, yes, you. What's your question? He goes, I'm not gonna play bad videos anymore. I'm not gonna. He started repeating everything I used to teach him about things he shouldn't watch that drives him crazy. So he's telling the audience about our relationship as a child with challenges and a parent trying to deal with his challenges. He went up on stage, started telling the audience, thank you for being here. The people were all in tears. Everybody was in tears. It was a special moment, and I think people should know that we're very proud of our special child. And we hope that we're able to help other parents and their special needs children.
Yeah, oo. Martin, tama, no? Kasi even yung sa M4D mo sa Disney World concert mo, ang daming moments na naiyak yung audience because of you, Santino, Robin Ram, di ba? It's so maganda. So, pero ang dami ng standing ovation. So, congratulations
Thank
for
you.
that. And syempre dito, I'm sure mag-standing ovation.
Sana.
So,
Kahit isa lang, okay na ako.
yeah, okay. Good luck.
Thank you, June. Love you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mark, nagawa mo na lahat ng concert na pwedeng magawa. Meron ka pa bang dream concert na in terms of venue or guest list na iniisip, ini-imagine?
One of my dreams was that Walt Disney Concert Hall solo. Check. Ginawa ka na. Parang bucket list ko of venues. That was one. Because I'm the first Filipino artist to perform there. Of course, Lea Salonga did it 2008, but she's really more of a world artist. But literally from the Philippines, I was the first. That's one. Of the venues, like I said earlier, okay sa akin kahit maliit na venue ngayon. Happy na ako dyan. Happy ako sa mga maliit na shows, sa malaking shows. But collaboration dream, I would love to perform with an international artist na yung talagang back-to-back, hindi lang guest. Kunyari, Michael Bublé and yours truly together on stage. Ako representing the Philippines, him representing America, and just, collaborating. That would be one of them. Another dream of mine sa bucket list ko, i-share kayo sa inyo, is the chance to give back. And that's one thing I don't know if any artist is even thinking about, but I'll give you an example. There's an artist that I have talked to already who did front act for me when he was a little boy. So I said, tell me when you're going to be in your hometown for a big concert because I want to be the front act for you.
Sino yan?
And the guy was, excuse me? You want to be my front act? That's my way of giving back. He was front act at the age of 7, and now he's a big star, and I want to front act for him to give back. And that for me is something on my bucket list. Darren Espanto.
Oh.
In Calgary, Canada, I said, if you ever have a big concert, I was going to surprise him and just do it. But it looks like I have to tell him, and now I'm telling all of you, that that's on my bucket list. I don't know when or where, basta it's going to happen. If our schedules can permit, I will give back to that 7-year-old kid who's now a big star.
Galing. Tapos Mark, parang lumalabas itong 40th anniversary concert mo. Will be parang tribute mo sa mga nakasama mo sa 40 years na yun. Bukod kay Boss Vic at saka sino yung isang na-mention kanina, nag-mental block ako.
Louis Ocampo?
Louis Ocampo. Meron pa bang ibang...
Dami. My father for one, we did it also at the Walt Disney Concert Hall where we paid tribute to my father. Of course, all the people who artists call fans, I have a hard time with the word fans. That's one of two F words I don't like to say. You get it, two of them. But of the F words that I like to say is friends. And these people have been my friends for years. So those who show up or those who watch it later on YouTube, whatever, it's a tribute to them because I don't think I would be on that stage without the friends who have been with me. Christy Carlos, who's here, represents probably all the fan clubs or friend clubs that I have still with me through the years. Aside from Louis, it would also be the musicians, because we're going to have a bigger band, a bigger orchestra than we did in Walt Disney Concert Hall. I think Marvin is planning to put strings and horns and make it a little bit more special than what we did in Los Angeles. To the musicians, because for me they're the really gifted ones. They never get any credit, and I want to be able to give them the credit that they deserve. They're the ones who went to school. They're the ones who had sleepless nights learning how to read and write music, but I'm getting all the applause. So for that night and the nights after that, I want it always to be an equal billing thing between me and whoever band I'm using. That's Marvin Carrido and his band and a small orchestra that he's forming together. They will represent every musician that I have performed with, the production people, the one production assistant or the production manager, stage manager, Epoy. His name is Epoy. He's been with me since day one. We haven't worked with him for many, many years. We got him back to do this show, to be the production manager for this show as well. So it's a tribute to everyone. I don't ever want to take all the credit for anything that I've done. It's just because the people who were interested to hear my songs, Vicar has asked me to sign with them again, ABS, CBN has asked me to sign with them again. After 40 years in the business, no one could ask for any other better gift than having tiwala, to have people who have faith in you. And that means so much to me. To be remembered while you're still alive, that's a great honor.
Thank you, Mart, and congratulations.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Pay forward ka na, no?
Yes.
Thank you.
From now on, thank you.
Congrats for M4D.
Thank you.
But I think an even bigger event would be when you reach 50 years in the business.
That would be nice.
Do you have a timetable of what you would like to do in the next 10 years on the way to your golden anniversary in showbiz? Like, first in your personal life, in your career. Kasi I think in your previous interview with us, you mentioned about getting married and ano pa yung bucket list mo? You already told us about your bucket list as well. So can you add to that, please? Thank you.
Well, you know what's worked for me is not having a plan, believe it or not. I don't know if that makes sense. But anything that comes my way, I'm equally happy. They're all blessings. And they somehow become accolades in my life because they somehow have brought me to the next year, and to the next year, and to the next year. And what I mean by that are a chain of memories, moments that you'll remember and love to remember, not those memories you don't want to remember, or don't want to remember. In my case, in my personal life, I couldn't be happier. I introduced to you my girlfriend at the time, and I know that one day we will end up as husband and wife. I just don't know what day that is, but I've been so afraid of marriage. I know that she's not afraid of it because she and I are both with children without having any husband or wife. So we're okay this way, but I think I owe it to her. She's really more the woman, I think. Because the wedding is all about the woman. You'll see when you get older. But I know that's something that we need to do one of these days, but maybe not soon. But it's in the plan. I mean, it's really part of my life, and if it takes me another 10 years to give you another moment like this, where we're talking about my history and so on, maybe that will be part of those questions. So how is it like now that you've been 10 years married? Who knows? Only God knows what the plan is. I'm looking forward to it. I hate to plan because it's not fun. It's more fun than, oh my God, I have a show here. Oh my God, I have an offer there. What? You're gonna try and get me for what TV show? Can I talk about that, Joy, or no? Joy?
Go.
No? Sorry. But when I signed with ABS-CBN, they had other offers for me. So abangan kung
You have
ano
a
yan.
talk show, Mark.
Huh?
You have a talk show.
No one wants talk shows anymore, again, because of your attention span. No, even shows in America, Jimmy Kimmel, all of Kimmel, and more James Colbert, he was ending his show already because they're running out of, people are getting tired of that. You know, so like the talk show I'm doing now, LSS, long story short, it's on ANC, it's like 30 minutes. It's that fast. And that's the only thing that people can tolerate before they go crazy and want to watch something else. That's how it is. So
Yeah.
I like what I'm doing now on ANC, LSS, long story short. That'll be part of my plan too, to continue to do the talk show, maybe by way of, what do you call that? Podcast. You've been telling me that since before, that we should do a podcast. Maybe that's where I'm going to go. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm having fun with all the things that I'm doing, and I look forward to more fun. If I plan it, it won't be fun. Thank you. Question. I think there's a lot of good that I see. I think it's time for us dinosaurs to listen to the young kids. They seem to know where we're going musically and visually through special effects and all the things, all the high-tech things people are doing at the different platforms. We need to listen to them. The one thing that I don't like about the industry now is everything is too fast. People don't say hi to each other anymore. There's no element of, oh my God, that's so-and-so. You know, the respect. Like when I see the likes of a Basil Valdez or so on, I immediately remember how that artist paved the way for myself, for me, for my 40 years. Basil, Rico J, Haji, my father, Bert Nievera, all of them paved the way. Even singers who don't know I'm alive. Kenny Loggins, James Ingram, Josh Groban, these people are the ones who helped me love the music that I do. I want to sing songs similar to what they're doing. So these people don't know me, but they paved the way. The people, the new artists, the new stars, the new sikat na ngayon, they don't even care to know what that person has done. They just go on with their own lives. The way, and even with their relationship with the press, there is none. I don't know. I could be wrong, but there seems to be hello po, and then they don't remember you anymore. That's what we had back then. We literally had that back then. I may forget your name, but I'll remember your question 10 years ago. I'll remember what you wrote in this tabloid and when you were writing in tabloids. These are the things that we need to do. This kind of relationship, this kind of knowing where you came from and not where you are. You have to know where you came from. You have to know that, you know, these are the people. You are the people we will see on our way up as well as on our way down. So you better make friends. You better be humble. You better be respectful. That's what I think lacks today.
You started at the time that they call another golden era of the music industry. Because the early 80s was a time when
Yes.
everybody was making money.
Yes.
But of course, you were making more money than the others.
Not really, because I was just starting.
Yeah, that's it. But then you were among the top sellers.
I was one of the highest paid recording artists, did you know?
Yeah.
1 peso a song.
No, but then...
Before it was 4
Your songs were
centavos a
selling.
song.
Oh, wow.
My first recording contract with Vicor, 4 centavos a song. So when they
That's the
said
royalty.
Basil gets 1 peso, when I got 1 peso, I said, yes, I'm like Basil now.
Yeah, but that was the golden era, the
Yes.
next golden era of the music industry.
Yes, you're very right.
Do you think we can still go back to the time?
We can. Filipino singers, Filipino artists, I'm confident, yes. Even producers and writers from the Philippines, yes. Because we never forget our culture, we never forget our people. In fact, we seem to be more, the younger singers now and writers, they seem to be more vocal about it. Thank God. During the 80s, we were not. We would go to singing festivals and win, and okay lang. But we were not vocal about it. We were not passionate about it. We were not loud. And now I think I say loud because there's so many different platforms now where you can be loud, right? So you're making a difference now. I see it, I hear it, I can feel it in the youth with them wanting not just to know who she is or we is, but who is a Filipino. I see a lot of it more now, and I'm so glad, I'm so blessed to be alive to see that, and I will see it. We will always continue to be faithful, patriotic, and passionate about it. But in other countries, I think they're so so set on change, real change, quick change, younger singers as opposed to singers who can actually sing, groups of people who can dance synchronized but they're lip syncing. It seems to be okay now with the public. They pay big bucks to watch good-looking people lip sync or sing over their voices. That wasn't allowed in the 80s, right?
Right.
I mean, you better sing. You better have a good band behind you. Oh, I love the horn section. But now no one really notices anything. If the song hits you in a certain way and it makes you feel a certain way, then you love that song. But you forget it so quickly because a new one comes along. Back in our time, during the 80s, we really took the time to tell a story, and we didn't have all the platforms they have today to get our story told. So now I challenge the youth, the new songwriters, the new singers, the new actors, the new everything. Represent. You need to represent. You need to take whatever we left or whatever baton nahulog sa ground, you need to pick it up and wave it higher. You need to be an expression, an extension of what they did during the 80s.
Thanks.
Thank you. You too, June. Thank you. You're always there.
Martin, natatanda mo ba kaya anong concert mo ang nagpaiyak sa'yo ng todo?
Wow. That's a great question because I really have an answer. Remember when my mom and dad split? Okay. And then we were going through some sort of a change where I was supposed to do a Valentine's concert with my dad, but he decided to not be in the show
Because of that.
because of his split with my mom. I went to Cebu and I did a show in Cebu and I sang Sing It You Love Me. And I'm going through all of this without anyone knowing it. And then they all continued singing, "What will you and it was so loud, I put my mic down like that. And everybody sang the song for me and I broke down.
Nakakayak naman.
Well, I mean, I broke down. It's like you all knew. That's why I have this secret love relationship with Cebu. It happened in the University of San Carlos.
Sa Carlos.
Yeah? I forgot the actual date, but right after that Valentine's, right after I was going through all of this mess with my side of the world, my family, I was sung to. Cebu sang to me like, "We know that you're going through something, and let us sing for you." Because I was really getting so emotional. Literally, I dropped to my knees. I dropped my mic.
Okay.
Crazy.
Anyway, sige. Nakakalungkot ng ganun pala nangyari sa inyo. Naiyak ako, ha?
You asked the question.
Malay ko ba? Next. Martin, anong masasabi mo naman sa influx ng mga K-pop stars, BTS, Blackpink, Chuchu na kumakanta na fan meet dito, nagko-concert na para bang nag-shift na yung mga kabataan lang naman yun, pero yung old days.
Hindi na kabataan. Pero yung mga fans, hindi lahat kabataan, ha?
Yeah.
Diba si Jean, how old is Jean?
Meron ba? Oo, meron pala si Gina Lahara.
Oh, si?
Oh, Lourdes Guillen.
Sharon Cuneta.
Oh, Sharon, no. How about
Curtis.
How about you?
Oh, I like BTS. I like the way they move. I like the synchronization of how their movements. I don't know what they sound like if they're singing as soloists.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yes.
But what I love more are the producers of their songs. They know how to write the song that fits the group.
Okay.
Sa dami-dami K-pop, sa dami-dami J-pop and P-pop and so on, you gotta have something else.
Yes.
Hindi lang the same. Ang maganda sa mga P-pop, sa lahat ng mga P, magaling tayo. Magaling ang Pinoy to improve something, whatever the sound, the music, the look, the steps. We have a way of improving it without looking like we're copying it.
Yes.
Some people might think P-pop is a copy of
K-pop.
K-pop. Hindi. Dahil may K-pop, may J-pop. Pero nag-aaway sila kung sino na una, J-pop or P-pop. Do you know that, right? They're like saying, no, we were first. Well, we can say we're better. Because we learned from you. Because we learned from K-pop, we learned from J-pop, so P-pop can be an improvement or the next stage or the next level where everyone is singing, how they treat each other on stage, the blending of their steps as opposed to their voices, because you can tell that these groups have to sing over their voices. imposible naman yung mga steps yun na. There should be a little. There should be some of that.
Yes.
But there's not. It's beautiful, right? But that's what they paid to watch.
Yes, of course. What can you say about, yung palaban naman natin SB19 sa mga K-pop, J-pop,
Yeah.
what can you say about them?
All I can say is at least meron kami.
Yes.
Hindi pwede sabihin na, oh, bakit yung Philippines wala? Because I think that's a trend and I don't think it's gonna go away.
Yes.
K-pop has been there forever and no one ever paid attention to it. Korean actors and singers, they've always been there, but because of the K-pop thrill, it's becoming more, I hope it happens here in the Philippines too, where they will see also our good actors. Hindi dahil sa K-pop, we know about the great actors and directors and writers of movies in Korea. Ang galing nila. Hopefully our P-pop, when the groups you mentioned are all over the world performing, that they'll be interested to see our actors and directors and movie makers, hindi lang P-poppers, no? That they'll be able to get the same interest in our country and our artists from the Philippines.
Hindi naman, threat ba sila?
Huh?
Threat? Threat?
To me?
Yeah?
No. Absolutely not. For 40 years.
Yes,
Ang
4
hirap.
decades.
You could get 1 million people in the audience, but you didn't take 40 years.
Yes.
Oo naman.
You did it overnight. You know.
Kasabay kita eh.
Ha?
Kasabay kita.
40 ka lang dito.
40 lang ako, 40 megit. Hindi, pumunta pa yan sa Jingle Extra Hot, nung baguhan yan. Nagpupunta ka doon, ini-interview ka namin, nung baguhan ka, nung kanta mo.
Now, if it was then, during the 80s,
Yes,
okay.
oo.
Threat
80s yun.
talaga. Remember the 90s when the bands came?
Yes, yes.
Nagiging threat sa mga solo singers.
Oo.
Yung mga audiences, yung mga shows namin, I did a show one time in Loyola, and a few meters away is Marino, right? Right? Eraserheads, the concert came in Loyola. Eraserheads, I could hear the screams from the backstage of Loyola. They had a full packed show. I think there was more than sold out. My show only had 200 people. Most of them production people from the show. As in, no one in the audience. They were all in Marino. So my manager at the time, Joji Dinkon, came up to me and said, "Mark, there's nobody here. Let's cancel the show." You know what I did? How many people are there? They said 200. That those 200 people really wanted to watch me. So that, and then the answer to the next question, which is what was your best performance ever? That was my best performance ever. I didn't take out one song. I had standing ovations galore from 200
people.
You know what 200 people looks like in Loyola? Almost like this restaurant.
Konti lang.
Butas-butas, lahat. But when you turn up the lights, I don't see any of you. So, same performance, right? That's where I learned that there's no such thing as a big show or a small show. That's where I learned that the show must go on. I was there backstage, ika-cancel mo pa?
Hindi ka umiyak?
Ay, nakakahiya talaga.
Umiyak?
So, no, hindi ako umiyak.
Okay.
Hindi ako umiyak. I finished the show, and it's probably, even to this day, one of my best performances ever.
Good.
200 people.
Matatanong ko pa. May tatanong pa ako. Nakalimutan ko na tuloy. Bandal kasi.
Masarap yung mga tanong mo eh. Gusto mo yung yung artist na hindi na gano'n, walang sagot? Opo!
Oo naman. Gusto, dadal mo, no? Diba? In love ka ba ngayon?
Sobra.
Okay.
You wanna meet her?
Yes.
Come here, baby.
Yes.
This is Ange. Come on.
Oo, pinakilala mo yan sa amin eh.
Yeah, but she's shy.
Oo, diba? Okay. Asya ba yun?
That's Leonardo.
Naniniwala ka sa kasal?
Well, one of these days, and we won't hide it. We will tell you. But if I was to get married, she's the one.
Wow, that's nice. Ayan na, ayoko na, naging personal na ako sa'yo, Martin.
Naninibago na ako, no? Hindi. We're just friends.
Oo, diba? Sanay na kami ganun eh.
Every time they say they're just friends, you know they're sleeping together, right? Come on.
Wow. What can you say about the different platforms now?
Well, it's a here today, gone tomorrow kind of thing. If you could last on the platforms, I mean, I'm not going to follow myself with the camera. Here I am at the,
Yeah.
you know, I hate that. And every artist that does it, they have a whole crew following them. That seems to be the thing now. And maybe I'll be lost. That's where I am going to be lost. Because I want there to be a little mystery between you and me. I want there to be a little bit of excitement when you come to watch me. You didn't see me every freaking day eating in a different restaurant posting. I do it, yes, I do it too. But I want there to be like in the 80s, the way Ed was talking kanina. There has to be that element of mystery and
Correct.
and question marks in your head. Not, oh, kilala ko na yun.
Alam na namin lahat.
Wala na yun kasi alam mo lahat.
Social media, what can you say about social media?
I think social media is very important to the world, not just to the music industry, to the concert industry, to our music industry or entertainment industry. It's very important because it seems to be the only way we can find out who's worth watching, who's not worth watching, who's got more followers so I can endorse my product with that artist. Back in the day, you really didn't know unless you watched a lot of that person's movies and concerts. But nowadays, you can tell by the amount of following the person has. That's how that person gets endorsements now. It's really different now. So it helps us. It also helps us get the word out. You know, we don't have to do these posters. I don't know why they still do this, but it seems to be that social media is the way to go.
Yes. Martin, ano yung okay lang ba sa'yo yung associate yung word na mad sa'yo until now? Ano?
It looks like mad, no?
Yes,
Galing mo,
si
ha?
mad, di ba?
I think, did you hear that? They got it. Only people from the 80s get that. That's why I did that, to look like mad.
Oh,
Martin After Dark.
Yes, gan ayun.
Yes, I'm fine with it because my madness is what kept me alive. Without my madness, I think I wouldn't be here today.
Do you still get mad?
All the time. All the time.
Saan?
Sa mga maliit na bagay pa minsan eh. Yung mga hindi mainit yung food ko. Yung adobo ko, walang kulang sa sauce. Yung gano'n. Nakakapikon yan, di ba?
OC siya eh, OC.
Ha?
OC ka pala eh. Ha? Toothpaste na wala.
Oh, you remember that? Galing mo, ha? She puts the toothpaste away, just so you know.
Congratulations, Martin.
Thank you. I love you, Joe.
Love
Thank you.
love
Thank you for all the 40 years. Thank you.
Thank you.